Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shaun of the Dead. As you know, I'm all about hunting zombies, and as you know, by my other shirt, my favorite shirt, I'm actually got to replace it because it's now all wore out. It says, don't underestimate the simple joys of blasting zombies with a shotgun. So today, I'm going to show off my shotgun. This is my H&R Partner Pump, 18.5 inch barrel. Dual rods. That's one of the important portions of it. Real solid in the hand. Doesn't shake, doesn't rattle. This gun's like almost 4 years old now. I put thousands of rounds through this thing in the last several years. When I take it out to the range to shoot trap, I generally don't shoot any less than 100 rounds through it at a time. If you notice that the sling that I use does not have any ammo on it. I do have a side saddle that I carry some ammo on. And I do have, I usually use currently number 5 high brass bird loads for home defense rounds because I don't want it to penetrate and go to the neighbors, but I want something that's still strong enough to blow somebody out of their boots. Which brings me to the next thing. Whenever you're shooting whatever, see how the sling slides around? Well, just imagine that if you have about 5 shells on there. It's going to drag you around like a yard dog. One of my buddies had some personal bad experiences with that, so kind of talked me out of it really quickly. I'm a fan of the Remington in general. I've shot everything from Benelli Sportsters to Sega 12s, Mossberg 500s, even the old break opens. I've shot shotgun after shotgun after shotgun. Anytime I see a guy with his shotgun out there at the range, I'm always trying to shoot their gun. Whether it be a 410, 20 gauge, 16 gauge, 12 gauge like this one. Haven't got a chance to shoot a 10 gauge yet, but I really want to. I'll shoot just about anything you stick in my hands. If it's a gun, I'll shoot it. It's a 12.5 barrel. Minimum legal length for my shotgun here. This is a home defense version shotgun. Is drill and tap, so you can put a rear sight system on it. Has the bead front sight on it. The recoil buffer is pretty robust. There is like zero recoil to this thing in comparison to most other shotguns. My buddy had a tricked out tactical Mossberg 5 pistol grip with the car stock. Car stock does not have a buffer spring in the shotgun, so you're getting more rattle. And we're just shooting, little 7.5 or 8s. Little bitty quarter brass bird loads that you get bulk boxes of at Walmart, and I'm feeling it at my shoulder. I'm like, wow, this thing kind of kicks a little bit more than mine does. And he's like, wow, man, your shotgun doesn't kick. Well, it's pretty hefty. I mean, this is a hefty shotgun. It's not exactly light. Also, with a lot of his being polymer, it being light, but also it doesn't have any buffer springs, so you're getting the direct hit of the shotgun. I do like the Remington over the Mossberg personally, because I don't like the safety here. I do like the safety right here. I do like reaching up here for my release for my pump. I do like this. I can use all 870 parts inside this shotgun, so I can change out the parts at will and just pick up any 870 parts and slap them right in here, no problem. It's H&R that was purchased by New England Firearms, who was in turn purchased by Remington. I went ahead and this is my second one. I'm going to give you a quick story here. My first one was having failure to ejects and failure to fires. It would hit the primer with a firing pin. It would dent it, wouldn't fire. Sometimes I'd try 2 or 3 times for it to fire. Sometimes it finally would. Also, whenever I would go to rack it open, it would hang up inside here, so I'd try to dig it out. I have to stick my pocket knife in the side of the shell casing and pull it out. And so I was always constantly fighting with, digging out the shell casings. And I mean, I'm jacking it back as hard as I can. So whenever I'm pulling it back, I'm like really pulling it back. And it would just kind of, and I'd stick my finger in there and pry it out. And if you happen to be shooting a 2 trap, well, you might shoot your first one, but your second one gets away because you're over here digging out a shell casing. Oh, it's already gone. Crap. So that's happened a few times, or sometimes you might happen to miss your trap and you want to go for a second shot. You don't get the opportunity because your gun was jamming up. So I got a hold of Remington. They sent me a packing label, their charge. I sent this in. They sent me this gun back. They didn't send me the other one back. They sent me this gun back. Said that there was some factory defects on the actual firearm. Did all the paperwork, and they mailed this one back to me, no charge. Impeccable customer service. 2 weeks later, I had a new gun in my hands, and I was out at the range, and I've had 0 failures to feed, 0 failures to fire, and 0 failures to extract. And this is thousands of rounds later. I have not had any issues whatsoever with this firearm. This thing is impeccable, to the point that I actually want to go pick up a second one just to have one on hand. It is so comfortable. It fits just like a glove. I know exactly where to maneuver it whenever I want to fire. With the personal sling that I chose, it does have a little loop on the inside here. As you can see, it was slinging. Well, I have had it to sling up, and I thought I was going to blow off the end of my barrel when I'm shooting trap. You can stick your fingers in here, hold on to your pump, and you don't get so much sling on there, and there's enough play in the actual sling that you can pump this all day long, and it's not going to have a problem. I've had buddies that drop this when we're out there shooting trap. This thing has been through the mill. I've shot so many rounds through this so fast with shells that this thing has gotten so hot that you could feel the heat on your fingers while holding on to the pump. And when you're going to actually load it, you can feel the heat coming off of it, and you're trying to hold it like this and stay as far away from this as possible, or up like this. And because I've actually burned myself just trying to hold on to it, and I'd flip it over and not think and put my hand on the back of it and be like, "Ooh, buddy," and burn myself. We've got it so hot, just shooting it so fast in quick succession. And this thing is just rough. I mean, it's just a beast. It's a monster. Whatever you throw at it, it's like, come on, do it again. You think you got something? I'll show you ain't got nothing. It's a monster. It's good durability, good solid construction. I mean, I don't feel bad using this whatsoever. I don't care if you have a $1,500 shotgun. You want to go to the range and shoot some trap? I'll take this little cheap shotgun. I paid like $189 plus tax for. It's by far one of the cheapest new gun I've ever bought. And you can use your $1,500 Benelli or whatever, and I will shoot this one right here and not feel a bit bad shooting trap with you all day long. Because this thing is just that comfortable. I'm that used to it. Like I said, I mean, I've had this thing for about 4 years. So a lot of time with your firearm, that always helps. I've used other people's firearms. I don't shoot their shotguns quite as well as I shoot this one. But again, this one's mine. It's like, this is my gun. There are many others like it, but this one is mine. Well, that's very true. This one is mine, and I know exactly how she maneuvers. She feels right. So I've shot my buddy's 870. It's a longer barrel. It just the weight feels off. It's hard to compensate for something that you're not accustomed to right away. But this one, it just feels like it does what it's supposed to do. So again, this is a really, really, really great firearm. I do highly recommend it, especially for the money. I think they're still selling them at Academy now for, I think they're $199. So you can still get this gun for $200 plus tax. So you're still getting a very, very, very high valued firearm for a very, very affordable price. Like I said, the first one I had was a factory defect. But since I've had 0 issues with this one whatsoever, and I mean, after literally thousands of rounds, I'm not exaggerating when I say thousands of rounds, I mean thousands of rounds. This thing here will just eat anything up, from double-aught buck, triple-aught buck, slugs, 2 3/4 inch to 3 inch, cheap crap bulk ammo that you get at Walmart. It fires it, ejects it, goes right to the next one, it keeps on going. So, like I said, I've had people drop my gun. Pick it up, make sure there's no dirt in the barrel, and fire it again. It's fine, just keeps on going. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. This is definitely a monster weapon, and it's great. It's a must-have for the zombie apocalypse. This is something I definitely would. If somebody breaks into my house, of course, I always keep my G19 within reach. So since I have my G19 always within a hand's reach of myself. Of course, that's my primary grab is because it's always within hand's reach. But I'm going to want something with a little bit more oomph. So from there, I'm running over to this, grabbing my shotgun, making ready, and make sure that I put the bad guys out of my door and they'll send them to flight. I'm sure that this will stop them. In my CHL class, they were talking about how a guy went through the plate window of his of this guy's house. What happened is he bought his wife, and he was a police officer. The guy teaching the class was a retired officer, and he was telling about one of his friends that was an officer, and he bought his wife a shotgun because he was going to be away. So she was scared, so she decides to leave her ammo with one of his other buddies, which is also an officer. So she hears noise one night. So what does she do? She gets up, she grabs her shotgun, does that. Next thing you know, she hears glass breaking, and she hears a splash. Cops come. They see the sliding glass door where he broke in at was shut. He went through the sliding glass door when he heard the rack of the shotgun, fell into the pool. They see water and blood coming out of the side of the pool, going over the fence, and they follow the blood trail and caught the guy. Now, do I recommend not having a loaded weapon? Of course not. If you have a gun and you have no ammo, I mean, it's worth the gamble because what's it going to do? What are they going to do? Take it away from you and shoot you with it? No. If you have no ammo, I mean, they're going to pistol whip you with it or beat you down with like a club with it if it's a shotgun. But, I mean, at least that's an attempt. I definitely recommend keeping your ammo on tap. But I just thought that was a cute little story that just, the unmistakable of a shotgun, just that racking alone, there's something about that sound that it's very universal. It's like, that's something big, that's something nasty, that's something I don't want to be around. So just to kind of give you a heads up, again, H&R Partner Pump, I definitely highly recommend this one. It's highly affordable, highly durable, and if you happen to have any issues whatsoever, customer service by Remington was impeccable. I give this thing, out of 5 stars, I give it 7, just because of the customer service. Even though the first one I had was a lemon, I would be more than willing and very tempted to go buy a secondary one just to have a secondary one on tap because it is such a fine firearm. I don't mind double purchasing firearms. Again, as always, please leave your comments if you happen to have any other questions or comments, any shotguns that you have that you would like to talk about, and give your own opinions on different shotguns. If you have any experience with this particular shotgun, I'd like to know what that is. As always, please stay on topic. Please don't forget to thumbs up, and as always, subscribe.